afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna Feazell, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge Talk Show, where truth matters. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday from 1 to 3 p.m. Central. I get right on with you in the afternoon. You can find us on the radio at icradio.media, television, channel 182 on Charter Communications, and Abundant Television, which is found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And don't forget the newscasters, newscasters.com. Oh, and by the way, I love your emails. Thank you so much. You know, those emails make my day. If you have any ideas for shows, something you want me to do a little research, I don't mind being your geek. I'll be glad to do that. Send an email to donna@donnasedge.com. That's donna@donnasedge.com. Have a friend with me right now talking about somebody who's all into it, and that's AP Steadham. This guy, I think if you cut his wrist, sports would come out. AP, so many wonderful. You get this fun job where you get to travel around and talk to all these wonderful folks. And we're going to lead us up to it.
Yeah, very lucky, Donna. Hey, Donna, I'm glad to be on your show. As always, we had a lot of fun last week. For the weekend was the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame. It was, I think, the 56th annual induction ceremony. So we had all these fabulous athletes that are connected to the state of Alabama in some form or fashion. Either they played ball here, or they graduated from a school from the state of Alabama, but it's all outstanding. So I'll just go over I'll go over the inductees, Don, if you want me to right now. We have Mike Anderson from Alabama. He coached at assistant at Arkansas, coached at UAB, and coached at Arkansas, and played at Tulsa and St. John's. So Mike was inducted. And then the outstanding gymnast from the University of Alabama, Penny Housechild Buxton, and she was inducted. And Larry Chapman, who played basketball at Auburn, was a successful coach at Auburn University, Montgomery. And then we had John Drew. He's from a little small town in Alabama, played in the NBA with the Atlanta Hawks after playing at Gardner-Webb in the Carolinas. And then Robert Mathis came over from around Atlanta, Georgia, to Alabama A&M. He was an all-star, all-pro with the Indianapolis Colts, won a Super Bowl, tremendous linebacker. He'd tackle anything to move, Donna. And then we have Scott Sullivan, a walk-on pitcher at Auburn University, went on to pitch for the Cincinnati Reds for a number of years, and he was tremendous. I mean, that's a great story, just being a walk-on and making it to the major leagues. I mean, that's an incredible journey. And then we have Mike Washington, who was an All-SEC, All-American defensive back at the University of Alabama, ended up being drafted by the Colts, played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, had a 9-year NFL career. And then he was an outstanding SEC official for decades. He officiated the game at the SEC level, which is the top level. And then we have David the Deuce Palmer, who electrified the crowd at Jackson Olin in high school and University of Alabama, All-American, was, I think, in the top 5 for the Heisman Trophy voting, and then played for the Minnesota Vikings for 7 years. So those are some of the outstanding athletes that were inducted. And I just want to mention one other football player who received the 2024 Distinguished Alabama Sportsman of the Year award from the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame, Kerry Good. You know, Kerry was a tremendous running back at Alabama. He had an outstanding opening game in 1984 against Boston College. It was almost 300 yards total, returned a kickoff and caught a pass and scored a touchdown. But he was injured and it affected his career. But along the way, he developed ALS. So he's been fighting that disease that afflicted him 9 years ago, and he's one of the most courageous people I've ever known in my life, and he received that award. So you can check some of the interviews I did, Donna, on my personal Facebook page and our show page for AP and Kelly as we see it. But we had a great time. All the folks, Scott Myers, executive director, Edgar Weldon, emeritus with the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame. They have a great program, a banquet every year around this time, May. And the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame, Don, I've been to several Hall of Fames around the country. It is top notch. It is sensational. And Donna, you could have banquets there and get-togethers. They have a theater, so you can utilize that facility for other things. Just to let people know, downtown Birmingham.
Now we have a video you sent. Let's go ahead and get what's this video about?
Yeah, this is David Palmer. And David, as I stated in the interview, Donnie, he extended the life of a seat because you never sat to the back of your seat because you were always on the edge. Every time he had the ball in his hand, you are definitely at the edge of your seat saying, what will David do next with this football? It was always something positive, I can tell you.
Absolutely. Always intriguing. Let's go ahead and start the video. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Let's watch.
Hi, this is AP Steadham of AP and Kelly as we see it syndicated radio live in Birmingham, Alabama at the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame with one of its newest members, one of my favorites, David, the Deuce is Loose Palmer. Congratulations, David.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, AP, man. Man, you've been friends for a while.
For a long time. We sure have, David. David, I think you extended the life of a seat because everybody was always on the edge when you played. They never moved to the back of the seat. So when you had the football in your hands, I didn't know what was going to happen.
Well, when I was a kid, man, growing up here in Birmingham, my brother used to stand in the doorway, stop me from getting something to eat, so I had to get creative. So that's why the fans should be thankful to him that I was able to make those moves because I was trying to get away from here. I knew I could get away from a lot of people.
David, do you remember when somebody put that name on you, the Deuce?
Well, when I first heard it, I thought guys was booing me, but they was calling it because of my number on my jersey. So, hey, I enjoyed it, and it was exciting to make my fans feel that way about it. I'm so excited.
David, some of your highlights from my perspective: you were a consensus All-American, one of the tops in the Heisman voting. You went to New York for that affair. The other thing was you were an All-American, the AP Associated All-American team, Associated Press All-American team. You were on the Bob Hope Show.
Yes, I was. Yes, I forgot. We met there, too. I forgot we was at Bob Hope Show, yes, but it was great, man. It was an honor to play at the University of Alabama first of all. But just playing a game of football, just, something I love to do, It was just so fun to me, being able to go out to do it. Heavenly Father blessed me with a talent that everybody don't have. And I had to go out and showcase it.
David, there's been many exceptional All-American wide receivers at Alabama, but you were the very first to reach that 1,000 yards in reception yardage. I'll never forget because that was a milestone. I was watching you the whole time and trying to add up those yards. Well, David, make 1,000. You made 1,000 on the nose. What did that mean to you to be the first 1,000-yard receiver at the University of Alabama?
Well, I didn't know. I didn't go out and play for records and everything. I didn't even know that I was that close to breaking the record, but it was an honor to do that. It was a pleasure. People don't realize that when I played, we switched out receivers every play, but if I played every down, hey, no telling how many yards I would have had or played with these quarterbacks.
I agree, David. They'll put another digit up there for you.
It might have been 2,000.
Well, David, you played on that 1992 National Championship team, and I'll never forget you're playing Miami. They were kind of vociferous in their talents. Let's just say that. And Alabama was kind of quiet, and you played that game, and the first time Alabama received the ball was a punt, and you took it down the field and gave them good yardage.
Yes, the talent that we had on that team at Alabama is unbelievable. Miami, they had some unbelievable talent themselves. They just came off a national championship the year before. So it was an honor and pleasure to play against them, as Alabama players. But we just wanted to show the world what we really had and what we was all about.
As Coach Stallman says, y'all set the tempo for the next decade.
I think we did. In 91, we went 11-1, you know what I'm saying? Then in 93, if Jay don't go down, we might have been back in that game again. So, hey, it was an honor to play at the University of Alabama and play for Coach Stallman.
Jay Barker, the quarterback at the University of Alabama. David, what's some highlights for you? I mean, you must have things that you like to tell maybe your kids and perhaps some grandkids too. What do you like to tell them about your exploits at the University of Alabama and your athletic exploits as well?
Well, I would just tell them just go watch highlights of their granddaddy or their dad and see what kind of player he really was. But it was a pleasure playing at the University of Alabama.
What do you like to tell the fans, the alumni, everybody who follows Alabama around the globe now? What would you like to say to them?
Hey, I'd like to thank you for coming out and watch me entertain you guys. But everybody saying I was exciting. They need to praise my brother for that. Hey, those moves. If I could get away from him, I could get away from anybody.
And one more last question, David. What's the significance for you, Birmingham born and raised, to be in the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame class of 2024? David the Deuce Palmer.
Well, it's an honor to be in the class of 2024, but Pratt City and Ensley have a lot to do with that. The talent that I played against as a little child. Hey, man, a lot of them could have did the same thing. They stayed on the right path. I just like to say thank you, City of Birmingham, for letting me showcase my talent.
Oh, one more before you elude me, like you did on the field so many times. You have a foundation with your teammate Sherman Williams, the Palmer Williams Group.
Yes, me and Sherman have a non-profit foundation that we trying to help out with kids that was at risk like we were, that didn't have fathers in the family. So we're just trying to help any way we can.
David the Deuce is Lewis Palmer. Congratulations to you, class of 2024, Alabama Sports Hall of Fame. Loved it, brother.
Thank you, my friend.
Wow, absolute legacy. I don't know what else to say. That was a great interview.
Hey, thank you, Donna. Thank you. Yeah, David, he was so much fun to watch, Donna. If you ever go to YouTube or something and Google his highlights, it's so electrifying. As I said, he was elusive. You could be right next to him. You thought you were going to tackle him. He just break away from you somehow, some way. He had tremendous footwork and vision, and he's probably one of the smartest players I saw on a football field. Every move, when you watched him, you say, "Why did he do that?" And it ended up being the correct direction to get away from the defenders, and he followed his blockers and returned punts and kickoffs, and he, like I say, first wide receiver at Alabama, all those great receivers, All-Americans, to catch 1,000 yards worth of receptions. First one.
Absolutely. Something I've noticed about all your interviews with all the great ones, what they have in common is they are absolutely team players. And it's not about them, even though they're getting the credit for it. It's not all about them. They understand that it takes a team to make it work.
Yeah, David would do anything for the team. They would insert him at quarterback at various times, maybe on the 2-point conversion, or maybe the offense was stalled. He'd add a little flavor, and all those big defensive linemen trying to catch him. But he would try to help his team. So he's one of the most versatile players all time at the University of Alabama and in the SEC, matter of fact.
Absolutely. Something, AP, we have to go into a commercial break. Time flies. We'll be right back in just a few minutes. Everybody hang in there, okay?
Twin City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales looks forward to serving you, and you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at twincityusedcars.com or go by our location at 901 First Avenue, Gadsden, Alabama. We sincerely look forward to serving you. At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant. At Liberty Bank, we're all about community, whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need. Toys at Christmas or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, we're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender. Jeff McCurdy of the McCurdy Law Firm has been a public service of this area for over 10 years. McCurdy, a member of the Henniger City Council, serves as prosecutor for the town of Sylvania and was named public defender for the city of Rainsville. The McCurdy Law Firm is located at 17326 Alabama Highway 75 in Henniger to better represent his Jackson and DeKalb County clients. If you need to be represented by a true public servant with proven success, call Jeff at 256-996-8701 or send a private email to mccurdylawfirm@gmail.com. No representation is made that the legal services performed is greater than the legal services performed by other lawyers. The Hatter Cafe and Country Inn is nestled in the northeast corner of Alabama the Beautiful in the delightful town of Mentone. We're located on top of scenic Lookout Mountain near Little River and DeSoto State Park and located only 5 minutes from shopping and restaurants. There is also a nearby community walking path and golf course. We welcome everyone through the doors and we are committed to outstanding service for all guests. At the Hatter Cafe and Country Inn, we invite people from all walks of life to come and get away from it all, enjoy the open spaces, treetop views, fresh, clean air, and experience Southern hospitality at its finest. We look forward to hosting you. To reserve a special event, or if you would love a special getaway at the Country Inn, you can call us at 256-634-2018.
We're back. My name is Donna, and I am your host of Donna's Edge Talk Show. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday from 1 to 3 p.m. Central as I get right home with you in the afternoon. As I mentioned a little bit earlier, you can find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications. You can also find us on Abundant Television, which is worldwide, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And don't forget the podcast on the newscasters.com. And there's a thing called the radio. You can find us there and download the app too, by the way, at icradio.media. As a matter of fact, AP Steadham, who's with me right now, everybody knows AP. You're no stranger to us, AP. We've been doing this for a really long time, several years. But you also host another talk show, AP and Kelly, as we see it. And it's aired right here on Fridays at 4 p.m. Central Time.
Correct. 4 p.m. Central Time every Friday, Football Friday, AP and Kelly as we see it. And Donna, we try to have an eclectic group of guests. Last week, Donna, I know you have a lot of Tennessee fans up there. We had the voice of the Volunteers, Tennessee Volunteers, Bob Kessling. And Bob told some fascinating stories for us and gave us a little preview of the team this year. And Bob has a tremendous former Oklahoma University of Oklahoma quarterback. He's a sports director at KWTV for many years. He's been the broadcaster of the year in the state of Oklahoma 8 times, a couple of Emmys as well. And what I like about Dean, he's very thorough and he's very honest about the team. He has a good an ability to evaluate the team, but give you the strengths and the weaknesses with pure honesty. So I always like that. We always try to keep it real. As you know, AP Steadham, he tries to keep it real. When we're on your show or anybody's show, we give our objective analysis of teams. We're not interested in dwelling on young men and women who haven't performed, but we will say if they played well, and we're looking for ways that they can get better. So, but we really enjoyed those two interviews. And then Kelly and I, we spoke about the draft. We were in Detroit and what happened that week as well. But this week we're trying to get somebody to discuss the Georgia Bulldogs and probably another team, and we'll have some other topics. But I just want to mention, Don, you showed that video of David Palmer. You can go to our Facebook page, my personal Facebook page, and the show's page as well. Interviews every time we're at end. And last week, Rob Mathis from Alabama A&M went to Stardom with the Indianapolis Colts. Interviewed Kerry Good, received that Sportsman of the Year award from the state of Alabama. And he has a tremendous story. He's fighting that ALS and trying to raise funds and help people with that terrible affliction. And we also interviewed the wife of Mike Washington. Mike was a tremendous SEC official, and he was an All-American at Alabama defensive back, playing the post for 9 years, primarily with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So those are some of the interviews that we have on our Facebook page. People can watch those. And thank you so much for playing it, Donna. When, like I say, every Friday, 4 p.m. Central, IC Radio, AP and Kelly, as we see it. We appreciate your audience.
Absolutely. We appreciate it. We've got the best audience. I'm just telling you. I know you think you got the best audience, but you kind of have, you do. You have two audiences. So there you go. You got the best of all the worlds.
Yes.
I wanted to ask you about Tennessee, because Tennessee, you know, you and I have been watching Tennessee, and we've seen some improvements. Could this possibly be their year?
We have. I think that they're going to be better at the quarterback position, Donna. They have Nico, and I can't pronounce his name correctly, so I'll just leave it at that. But all the Tennessee fans know Nico is a star player from California, big, strong quarterback, 6'5", 6'6". And I think Brew McCoy, the addition of a healthy Brew McCoy, you know, he transferred from USC and Texas, USC to Tennessee some years ago. Big, strong receiver, 6'3", about 220 pounds, and he's a good leader. I think that's going to help the passing game. I think that Tennessee has always been trying to get better defensively. Always had a good kicking game. I've never seen Tennessee have a bad kicking game. So, but Tennessee's in a good position because it's going to be wide open in the Southeastern Conference, Donna. Georgia, of course, we know as their quarterback returning Carson Beck. They have the talented players, offense and defense. But Tennessee, they took a step backwards last year, even though they had the 9 wins. And they won the bowl game 35-0 over Iowa. Iowa, the team that couldn't score a lot of points, but Nico performed very well in that bowl game. But I think that Tennessee can do better this year because I believe they're going to have more production from their quarterback. Henceforth, the offense will be better.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. We've got about 5 minutes left in this segment. I'm not going to let you out of here until we talk Alabama and Auburn. So what's next for Alabama?
Right, yeah, Alabama and Auburn, they're trying to get their rosters settled for the year. You know, we have this transfer portal, but, you know, the recent transfer portal, Don, you can only accept the people from other conferences, not within the SEC. So that big change happens in that window in December to early January. This time you're getting players from other conferences. Alabama picked up one of the top kickers from the MAC, I believe it was. So, you know, they lost Will Reichert, All-American, all-time leading scorer in the country from the kicking position. And so that helps them. And Auburn's getting the receiver from Penn State, their leading receiver, along with the top a couple of freshman receivers. That's going to help their quarterback, Peyton Thorne. I think Auburn could make a big leap with their offense because of the addition of the wide receivers. The transfer from Penn State and a couple of freshmen that are coming on board, because that quarterback who transferred, Peyton Thorne from Michigan State, when he was playing well, he had 29 touchdowns when they won 10, 11 games. The next year, he threw 16 touchdowns, and they had a losing season, 5-7, I believe. And then he came to Auburn, and they just did not have the production and the capability at the wide receiver position to really flourish. So I think Auburn could make a leap offensively. Now, I'm not sure how it translates to wins and losses, but I think they're going to be more difficult to defend.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. AP, over the weekend, there were some questions that came in, and this was about Kirby Smart. Kirby Smart's being paid a whole bunch of money. Isn't he the highest paid coach now?
$13 million, Donna, in 2024. $13 million. I remember when Nick Saban arrived and they were going to pay him $4 million or so, $32 million for 8 years. People thought that was outrageous, but $13 million. I think, Donna, probably in the next 6-7 years, we're probably going to have a coach make $20 million in a year, probably, with these new TV contracts. And we thought a $1 million coordinator was a lot. We have $2 million coordinators now. So the money keeps increasing because of that television revenue and the fact that people love watching college football. Now, they're not happy with people are not happy with the transfer portal situation and the NIL players receiving money, but that is the way of the world and it's not going to change. And Donna, if you're not watching college football and you say you're not happy, what are you going to watch? Pro football is big money. College football has been big money. Now the players are involved. What are you going to start to watch if you have this habit of for the last 20, 30 years of watching college football every Saturday? You're not going to change. You're just going to accept the fact that you need a scorecard because year to year, the roster can change dramatically, Donna, with these influx of transfers in the wintertime and then this spring as well. So you're going to watch college football. It's too much fun.
Let's make it plain, though, where that money comes from, because most of the responses I'm getting is, well, that's why they charge so much. And maybe some of this is true. I don't know. But the biggest response I'm getting is that's why tuition is so high for college students. So where does this money come from that pays the coaches?
Yeah, a lot of that money down is raised by the boosters. So, yeah, the administrations are always reaching out to the boosters for more money. And sponsorships from companies as well. Yeah, the athletic directors, administration, sometimes they have to make a choice. Do you want to have more money for your facilities? You want more money for your coaches? You want more money for your NIL collective? So now it's a number of entities that are trying to seek money from the donors, and it's just not one fund. So they've got to make a choice. And the players, when they're being recruited down, the number one question is, what is my NIL number? How much money will I be receiving to play football? And then the second thing is always the playing time. Can you have some type of guarantee and that I will play as a freshman? Or that's what they're looking for from their individually and their group of people, their team of people that are always questioning the head coach before they sign on the dotted line.
Absolutely. AP, we're going to have to call it a day. Thank you so much for watching or for being here on the show. And thank you guys so much for watching. AP, always a pleasure. Can't wait to have you on next week. I know you got some great shows going there with AP and Kelly as we see it.
Thank you, Don. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Anytime. Okay, folks, again, thank you so much for watching. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day.
My Towels solved the problem that we've all had with towels. You go into the stores and they feel lotiony and soft, but then you get them home and they wind dry you. That's why I made My Towels. They actually work, they're soft, and they absorb. And now I'm excited to announce 2 brand new lines of My Towels. What makes them the best towels ever is they're now made with 100% long staple Shapir cotton. This is a combed ring spun cotton that makes My Towels even softer and more absorbent than ever. And now you get a 6-piece set for an amazing introductory sale price as low as $29.98. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to get My Towels for only $29.98. Or you can get my designer premium line for just $20 more. Either way, you save 50% now on all My Towels. They actually work. What a concept. This offer won't last long, so please order now.
mypillow.com